Peace up to the tribe. We are here in the beautiful country of Kenya. My name is Brother Samal. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is the Artist Journal where we chop it up and talk things pertaining to the African/Black experience. I'm an artist. J Cafe is an artist, as well as Kraina and Brother Steve here in Kenya. We have established a workplace workshop/gallery called the Art Shop Artisans, Art Shop Cafe, and also we do have Safi Sana, our beautiful clothing line that was started up by J Cafe herself. You can see all of our merch on our online store. And on most of the videos that we upload, you will see a QR code most times at the end of the video. All you got to do is tune in, zoom in, and it'll take you to a world of beautiful art, jewelry, and just vibes. And also we have purple and gold sea moss that's harvested right here in Kenya. And again, we'll get that straight to your doorstep. So it's all on the website, family. As you guys can see, we are talking about Martin Luther King, the shoulders that we stand on as a people. We can never underestimate. Before I go on, help us to build out our platform by simply hitting that like button, sharing the content if you like the content, and definitely subscribe if you like the content. So, Martin Luther King / Fred Hampton / Malcolm X, Steve Biko, Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, John Henry Clark, Sheikh Anta Diop, Che Guevara, the Mau Mau of Kenya, the Maroons of Jamaica, for those who fought in the Haitian Revolution, and that kind of energy, that kind of spirit is the shoulders that we stand on. This is the energy and the spirit that the Honorable Martin Luther King emitted and led with. You know, a lot of people, when you hear the name Martin Luther King, you think about the I Have a Dream speech. I have a dream speech, you know, and you hear the mountaintop speech, and a lot of people compared to Malcolm X, you say, oh, Martin Luther King was the softer version of Malcolm X, or he was the polar opposite, and not realizing, for those that don't do extensive research, you don't know that Martin Luther King, later on in his movement, in his life, and he even said it, that he felt like he was integrating his people into a burning house, that he reached a point in his life in the struggle where he understood that what he was up against, again, straight out of the Bible, who can wage war with the beast and win? Because what he was up against was catastrophic. It was colossal, of biblical proportions. He was up against a system that is anti-life and anti You could say anti-God. So, and definitely anti-black folks. But there was groups. In Philadelphia, you had MOVE. Out of Chicago, you had the Nation of Islam. Across the states, you had the Black Panther Party. So you had black movements. You had at one time Black Wall Street, where we was coming together, we was trying to unify our efforts, and it was always hindered by the Eurocentric opposition. So I wanted to come on and talk today, family, about the shoulders that we stand on and how it's a necessity for us to spend a little time studying, especially in this season of Martin Luther King's birthday. Especially in this season that we take time out to consider the effort that went in and the ultimate sacrifice of one's life to see the betterment of your own people. But that's a different kind of man. That's a different kind of spirit. That's a different type of energy when that you know that your days are numbered, when you know, in fact, let me see something real quick. When you know that your days are numbered and you know that you're fighting an uphill battle, that in your lifetime, that you potentially will not win, and you will not see the fruit of your labor. And just like Malcolm X, when they approached him when he was on the stage, one of his last gestures, when the gun was pointed at him, he simply smiled. Family, that's different. To look at your killer in the face and to smile, because you understand that you are much bigger than the moment. You are much bigger than the person pulling the trigger. You represent something God sent. And once you reach a certain level, when you understand that you're God sent, God can never be destroyed. The elements of the Creator, that energy cannot be destroyed. We're talking 75% water, 25% minerals of the earth. If anything, this physical body, just like many other life cycles, simply be recycled. But the energy that's housed in these physical temples or these physical bodies, you cannot destroy that. So upon Malcolm X looking at his killer's face and smiling, he understood that his time was up, but he understood that he did a perfect job. He did an excellent job. And if this was going to be how history would write it, it is what it is. Simple as that. And so Martin Luther King had the same spirit. He said that he's not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the coming of the glory of the Lord. That he's been to the mountaintop and he looked over and he seen the promised land. He said, I might not get there with you, but we as a people will get the promised land. What promised land was he talking about? People don't know that he had his sights on Africa. A lot of people forget that the Honorable Malcolm X visited Africa, spent some time in Ghana with Kwame Nkrumah, made Hajj to Mecca and Medina. So he became to be a world player, not only in the Americas, but he was influencing our people around the world. And remember, J. Edgar Hoover, the head man of the FBI, said that we was to stop the rise of a black messiah, meaning one who would electrify the masses, the black masses, and cause our minds to not only become stronger and unified, but also will mentally and physically head towards Africa. And you can see how the winds of time, the winds of history have it that a lot of popular music with Wizkid, Burna Boy, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Mariam Makeba, Fela Kuti, you understand, is gearing our people, minds and hearts and energy to Africa. You understand? So you have especially brothers like Fela Kuti, inspired millions of people. A lot of folks don't understand that Fela Kuti was inspired by Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And he wanted to take that same energy back to Nigeria, where he warred and fought against the powers that be in Nigeria, to the point where they unalived his mother, right? So Fela Kuti took his mother's limp body and put it in front of the equivalent of the White House in America. In Nigeria, he put that on the government's property and said, man, that's your problem. You know, so these are the shoulders that we stand on. Stop the rise of a black messiah, a black idea that can electrify the masses and cause our people to focus one again on that real land of milk and honey that flows with gold, bdellium, the white and the blue Nile out of ancient Kemet, that we are called to memory who in fact we was, because it's written all on the walls. We talking hieroglyphic talk, we talking Medu Neter. That we understand Amhotep had the wisdom and understanding to be able to break down the human anatomy without even cutting it open. That type of intellect we're talking about today. These are the shoulders that we stand on. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Steve Biko, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, Muammar Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, yes sir, Patrice Lumumba, Frank Hampton, you understand, and many, many more. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Chano, Black, peace up, Black. We see you, brother. So that's all we're doing is talking about Black. Come on up, Black. We put this link in the chat. Chano. If you got time. For those of you who might want to come on and share in the dialogue, feel free. The link is in the chat. We'll bring you on up and chop it up real quick with the Artist Journal. So these are the shoulders, in fact. The beautiful Mariam Makeba, who sung songs of freedom in Africa, used her voice as a tool of liberation for our people. Don P, greetings, family. Peace up, Don P. We're just talking today because we're in the season of Martin Luther King. We're just talking briefly about the shoulders that we stand on. the Sheikh Anta Diops of the world, the Patrice Lumumbas of the world, the Ibrahim Troyes of the world, the Fidel Castros of the world, the Mau Mau of Kenya, the Maroons of Jamaica, those folks that pushed back against the Haitian Revolution. We can't leave out His Majesty Haile Selassie that waged war against Italy at the time. All the brethren, they said they braided their hair up and went into guerrilla warfare. And the Italians couldn't stand the smoke. They couldn't stand the heat, so they got out of the kitchen. So Ethiopia was one of the countries that was never colonized. And they stand tall and they are proud of that. So that's all we're doing today, family. We're talking about the shoulders in the spirit of the Honorable Martin Luther King. The shoulders that we stand on and the spirit that was moving him. We're talking about not the turn the other cheek Martin Luther King. We're talking about the Martin Luther King that said that he feared that he was integrating his people into a burning house. We're talking about the Martin Luther King that he said that he's not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the coming of the Lord. That I might not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land. We'll get to Africa. We're talking about that Martin Luther King. Yes, Don P. Good to see you back on here too, brother. We just had care of, which didn't allow me to come on, but we will be on Rumble. We have got it onto a show, which I will put a community post up. We'll be on there tomorrow, 8:00 p.m. Kenyan time. So in case you guys might want to come on and listen in to the radio show, it's going to be fired tomorrow. So a lot of people don't understand that Martin Luther King, he took on Malcolm X type energy before he was slain, before he was taken out. And it was because of the energy that he was stirring up is why ultimately they took him out. If you really sit back and listen to Martin Luther King, even in his early speeches, you can see he had a level of fire there, but it was tempered. It was kind of like, he just wanted to do the right thing and wanted his people to do the right thing, and he didn't want anyone to get hurt. He didn't want anyone to get hurt. But you cannot smack a man in his face repeatedly over and over and over and don't expect the lion to rise to the occasion. And we all know that Martin Luther King had the electricity or the energy to cause some real damage in a positive way in the world. These type of men are different. These type of women that have this energy is different. And you have to say that it's the ancestors. It's a different kind of spirit that's pushing them. Appreciate it, Don P. I tell you, Don P, this YouTube is a bit challenging. We tried to stay consistent. Get out of here. Yeah. That's this is facts. I mean, Black Wall Street showed that when we pool our resources, when we come together as a people with the protection and the fortitude like a Ibrahim Troy, because when you come like that, there are going to be forces that meet you. So we have to be strategic in how it's done. But when our people come together, first of all, the first hurdle is that everyone needs to be on the same page. Like, we need to be unified. And in fact, we are from Africa. Like, we are children of the continent. And all of these things that divide us, we have to put all of that on the shelf and come together in unison. And I think a great candidate to push that message is guys like Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is a forward thinker. He's different. But it's going to take people like him to reach the LeBron Jameses of the world. But definitely Black Wall Street showed us that the Jews, the Chinese, the Indian, the Arab, they don't have the same opposition that we have on this game board. Ours is significantly different. Our adversary is different. Yeah, Kyrie is my favorite too. Like, he's very, his intellect on the court is like none other. I mean, the way he dribbles and outthinks and a step ahead, and you could tell he's playing chess even on the basketball court. Yo, I'm gonna switch gears just a little bit. Did you all see in Algeria, man, in Morocco, they was throwing bananas at ISHOC? A young brother with almost 50 million followers. That's what they thought about him. Out there calling him monkey. They was throwing bananas in 2026, family. This is how they doing. Yeah, it's Africa, but that's North Africa, and we know who reside in those regions of Africa. I mean, as much love as the young man was getting. 2026 black. Man, this is baffling. This is baffling, man. Yo. Exactly. Don P, exactly. I mean, he knew how the nose got like that. He just wanted to see what the lady was going to say. And classical just fabrication at its highest level in front of the world, in front of 50 million people, just lying. Just lying. So family, I'm not up here long today. tell you something crazy that happened yesterday. We cooking food. J Cafe is whipping up some beautiful plant-based food. And the stove, the oven blew up like a bomb blew up. Like shook the kitchen. Boom! So I come out of there, I thought like a pan or a pot fell. But it was much louder than that. But that's what I thought, because what else could it be? I came out, gladly she was okay, shooken up a little bit, but yeah, Black. These gas tanks that we use over here, you have to monitor them and make sure that the gas is flowing properly. Luckily, as my brother was sharing with me, usually the gas runs straight back to the tank and the tank itself blows up. But luckily, I think they cut off on the regulator, stopped the gas from going back in the tank, because the button on the regulator broke. So it must have broke from the pressure. So luckily the oven and the stove just blew up. You know, went to the warehouse and bought another regulator, put it back on there, and we saw that when we turned the oven on, the gas will flicker and then it will come on. So it lets us know that when it flickered out, we didn't catch it the first time. So gas was just flowing. Yeah, Don P, we good. We good now. Appreciate you. Yeah, I left my damn cafe. Be safe, Black. Get a move. So we back in the kitchen. Say all that to say, she's back in there and she's whipping up some plant-based food. So I'm gonna cut this short here. Always appreciate you guys tuning in, showing love. This is your brother Samal here. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe to the platform. What's today? Tuesday. We'll be back on tomorrow, for sure. Well, actually, I won't be on tomorrow. I'll be on the radio tomorrow. So I will put a community post at the Artist Journal. So guys, look for the community post as far as the radio presentation tomorrow at 8. It's going to be fun. You have a great one as well. Black, you have a great one as well, my good brother. If anyone would like to reach out for myself, all of our contact information is in the description. All of our videos, you can find our email, website, etc. there. So peace out, family. I'm going to tune out. You already know the vibes. Just to tune back in. Peace out, family.